guys, so this is a video on all the horses that I viewed, except for one that I did a separate video on. So this first horse is a 9-year-old Finnish horse, and it was a very chunky build, heavy build, as you can see. It was a failed trotter. At the time I didn't realise why it was a failed trotter, like why somebody would spend so many years trying to make it into a trotter, because it was quite a low energy horse, but some horses can be very different in a trotting environment. It had quite odd movements. I didn't like its movements, very like choppy and short, and it had only been broken in for 6 months with this owner that's riding at the moment. So it was like too much of a project, too green, and she was trying to sell it quite quickly as well, that I didn't really like, and she wanted to get it out by the end of the month, and she didn't really have the best excuse. The yard owners were changing or something. I got a busted knee. This is the first time me riding after I had this knee injury. I was just about able to walk. I literally couldn't stand for long. So here I am limping up to the stables and riding. So bear that in mind. I was cantering on a hack, and we cantered past a tree because I couldn't get Monka to stop, and we cantered past a tree and my knee banged into a tree, so I kind of like busted my knee. And this is Magic Taika. Taika was amazing. This was a 15 one hands, so 55 centimeters, 16-year-old Finnish horse. My mum really wanted a Finnish horse because we're buying a Finnish daughter horse, a mother-daughter horse. She wanted a Finnish horse because, I don't know, she really likes them, and she wants a bomb-proof kind of beginner's horse. And this Taika is that, a schoolmaster. She's 16 years old, which was, you know, she's not old, but she's like at the end of her career, which was a slight worry for us. She had tried driving before. Well, she did a driving competition, some Finnish international competition, driving competition, because, I don't know, they wanted to try it out with her and give it a go, and she managed to win the whole thing. And I think she was especially good on the cross-country driving. So solo cross-country driving. Yeah, so that was pretty cool, but it just definitely kind of seemed like she was at the end of her career. She was on the riding school twice a week because the owner didn't have time for her. That was the reason why she was selling her, but she wasn't the best jumper either. When we had this jumping lesson, I didn't know at the time, but she was on in heat. I don't know why I turned around that way. That was stupid because obviously the horse isn't going forward. But yeah, she was in heat, but I didn't know. Because she was kind of kicking, bucking at some points. I straight away came to mind if she had, if the saddle didn't fit, or if she had some kind of back problem, because she had never acted like this before, and this was our third viewing. And yeah, so she didn't want to go forward, but I didn't know she was in heat at the time, so we had to like canter her around the arena, like, to get her to go forward, and that was the only way. So she was just acting really different. I was worried that, you know, I was worried about that, so I wanted to view her again once more before we bought her, because we already had our buying date set, I believe, but it was in like 2 months' time, so we had like plenty of time before we bought her. I didn't have my leg on to that jump, so she refused, obviously. She also had very dirty water. Like, her pasture water was very dirty, and my mum cleaned it out actually with Monka's owner, and then they realised it was the water that was dirty and not the tub. And then we also worried about her health, because she's been drinking that dirty water for a long time, and also as well as not drinking a lot because of the water's been so dirty. For her health, well, obviously would have been bad for her health, but if it's had long-term damage, which it probably has. She also wasn't able to do flying lead changes. She also was difficult to load. I mean, the owner had some kind of way of loading her, and she was also quite hard to lead, I found. She was very pushy and shovey. This was the fourth viewing of her, and we're trotting her up in the arena because she was lame 2 days before, and she had swelling on her back leg. So this was definitely a worry, and the vet came out and said that she had swelling in both back legs. And she had been on light work, so the whole thing came to a halt, and we didn't buy her because of the swelling in the back legs. And This was a 13-year-old Finnish warm blood. I was really proud how I got on there because I'm like really bad at getting on from the ground, and that was like the first time I was able to do it like properly. I mean, a really nice looking horse, but as you can see here, my knees are turned out and my heels are in, so I'm always putting pressure on the horse, which the horse, I mean, this horse was very sensitive and did not like that. So it was like I was constantly giving leg aids. And when I do half halts, I do like quick half halts, which this horse also didn't like. So this is why this horse is bolting off with me. Well, not bolting off, but I couldn't get her to stop. I couldn't ride her at all, and she wouldn't have worked for us because we're looking for a mother-daughter horse. I mean, my mum would ride her, my horse or whatever sometimes, because I've got college starting. I may not have time during a week sometimes, so at least I've got my mum. And yeah, the canter, I don't know if it got any better. I was like cooling down at this point because I was thinking, you know, this is enough. I don't need to ride the horse anymore. But she was like, do you want to jump? And I was like, yeah, fine, whatever. Oh, also the horse had a weird back leg, was moving very oddly in the back legs, and she had injuries in the back legs. I didn't realise this when I was riding. I only realised after when my mum told me. Weird back leg movement that we did not like. And yeah, she was definitely a jumper. I mean, she could jump well. I couldn't jump her, but she like definitely has potential in that. But she had been off work for a long time, and she didn't give the best excuse. I covered the owner's face here just for her own privacy. And she rests the leg here, the back left leg, as you can see, quite weirdly. I mean, she's kind of over flexing it. I don't know. Do you guys think that's weird? And then the hoof was cracked vertically, had been cracked, and was like, she didn't want the back legs to be touched at all, and she just didn't like it, as well as she was really scared in the stable. And she had been on sale for a long time, so there was just like too many things. She'd kick out every time we'd try to touch her back legs. Nova was so nice. This was a was a 9-year-old mare. We looked at a lot of 9-year-olds. She had been brought from Estonia 2 years before, and if you do look at her, any person would be able to see this literally. But look at her back legs. She has very loose, like ligament joints in her back legs, especially the back left leg. If you look at it, like flops. And she's only a 9-year-old, so we were really worried, like if we were to buy her, then if that ligament or joint, whatever, loosens as she gets older. But she was so nice, like in the stables and getting ready, and she was like really nice natured. And the current owner had bought her, like, because she's seen a video of her in Estonia of this like 3-year-old leading her into the stables, and she looked really nice and friendly. But the owner was a professional horse trainer, and she was unable to train her. Like, she was able to train her, but she wasn't able to get her to jump the heights that she wanted to. But obviously horses don't, I mean, you can't force a horse to jump if it can't physically jump because of those back legs. So she wanted to buy another horse that could jump, because she wanted to jump 90 centimeters, and this horse wasn't able to do it. This horse was also very expensive because she wanted to buy a better jumper, so it was overpriced. And yeah, we didn't want it. Rexona. Now, we weren't even meant to go see this horse. We were meant to see this jumper, this black, bigger jumper, and the owner of the stable says, no, that's been reserved. And she points out this horse, and she looks like this tiny little pony, like fat pony, like in the distance. And we're like, oh, me and my mum just like look at each other and we're like, oh great, like we've driven all this way just to see this. And the owner said, yard owner had said that, yeah, just there's the tack and there's the arena, go ride and jump, whatever. So that's what we did. My mum said that she was swinging one of the front legs in trot. I don't know if it's then all gaits, but it didn't look too bad though. It was a dealer selling her, and so that was obviously a bad side, but she's a project. More of a dressage horse definitely than a jumper. I mean, she jumps this really well and brings her knees up, but she goes on the wrong lead, but still. I mean, she was good on the first few jumps, but she had been ridden quite a lot, so she'd already had some lessons, because she was on a riding school for 2 weeks and being sold from there. So she was already pretty tired, and as you can see, as well as me not being able to ride or jump, so she would have been a really good mother-daughter horse. I mean, she was a bit small. I don't know if I remember saying this, but she's a 9-year-old Estonian horse. She had been in the country for a month, and she's 14 3 hands, which was definitely the smallest horse we had viewed. And this eye, you can see that there's swelling around the eye, but we asked the vet when we got a vet check the day after we viewed her, had said it's fine and shouldn't affect her, but we're going to ask a second opinion on that as well. So we bought her that weekend, the day after we got the vet check. There was some swelling in her back legs, but that was apparently just liquid, the vet said. So it was a very quick buy. We bought her really quickly because the dealer was pressurizing us, obviously. Yeah, but she's amazing, and we've renamed her Zelda. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope I see you again next time.